Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading with me. This will be for the month of November. So we're going to dive in and see what messages come up for you. That's going to tell us what's going to go on for you this month. All right, my angels. So I already pulled you out an animal spirit card. And you guys have the frog, which in the time that I've been using these cards, this rarely comes out. So I feel like it's very important. So we got a few keywords here which says clearing, cleansing, and healing being themes for you during this month. So let's see. The frog and the water element are most inseparable. The frog spends its first months of life entirely within this healing element and then emerges to rest on land. But no matter how earthly the frog becomes, its need for cleansing and rejuvenation is regular. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished, so it's vital that such sensitive creatures practice self-care. So that's your aim during this month, to practice self-care, to connect back to your feelings and emotions. This card serves as a reminder that water helps us cleanse, forgive, and release. Time to dive in. Frogs aren't meant to carry a heavy load. So going to water could be really important, right? Going to a lake, going to the ocean, connecting with a river, I don't know, like just going to a place where you can dive in or just dip your toes in or something, because I think it's going to be very helpful. Now, when we think of water as well, I always feel like crying can really help. If you can, if you're able to, Aquarius, I think it's going to be really important. If you need to cry, let it out, because it's really healing actually to allow yourself to feel the feelings so that they can release. All right, so this is a month of healing and emotion. So we're going to dive in a bit more. Let's see what else is going on for you guys during this month, my angels. What other themes do we have? Let's put that there. What's going on for my gorgeous Aquarians? You got truth be told. So you could be coming to some, what's the word? I wanted to say harsh realities, but I don't think it's that. But for some reason, I can't think of anything else but just that. So maybe it's a message for some of you, because my mind went blank all of a sudden. Now, the good news is this is my card of a timeline shift. Now, what is a timeline shift? Where you could keep going down the path that you're going down, and maybe take longer to get to your goals, or maybe you're going down a different path. But a timeline shift is almost where you're able to jump to a completely different timeline, where your life is completely different, and maybe you're able to do things you wouldn't have if you went. Think of it like train tracks. You're going down a specific path, all of a sudden you're able to jump to a different track and you go to a different destination, right? Different journeys. So that's something that could be coming up for you in the month of November. Now, how does it come up? It comes up with a window of opportunity and, of course, some sort of truth. When you know you're capable of a big change in your life and you know it in your gut, and there is an opportunity that comes up for you to jump all into something, that's almost this timeline shift for you where it's going to change your world. But let's see how it comes up. It could mean that you guys are going to come to, again, figure out some sort of truth in a situation. But let's figure it out. The thinking woman, so that can be you. It could be a friend coming through as well that's going to help you. Let's think about it a little bit here. Truth be told, the thinking woman. Now, what she is someone who has a lot of ideas, someone who wants to dive deeper into things, to figure out information, to collect information, to build on her knowledge, right? So this can be a good month, again, to dive into knowledge, books, courses, anything where you can get more information. But of course, for some of you, the thinking woman will be a friend who's going to come in with some really good advice, maybe someone to turn to for some knowledge and information if you ever need it. Now, I want to just mention that there is this envy at the bottom of the deck, especially with the goddess of the moon, which can represent, okay, if you have been feeling disconnected from spirit has not left you behind. I think sometimes in life we can get a little bit caught up in feeling on the outside of life, right? When we watch everyone else having this golden, beautiful life, we can forget that ours is, we still have abundance, but it just looks a bit different. Okay, so it's just this energy of feeling disconnected. The goddess of the moon is really about tapping into where is this coming from, because I think spirit is pointing out here that it could be your heart chakra. There's something going on there. Maybe you need to do more things that you love to do, right? Or connect to more people, because I feel like healing your heart chakra is going to help you heal maybe some envy that you might have, or comparison to others, right? That's really what envy is. It's like comparing yourself to others and saying like, I want that. How comes they can have that and I don't have that? Am I not good enough? You know, and we can start to feel really sucky, right? We can feel like that. Now, the envy could be someone else around you, okay? So just be very mindful. All right, let's see. What's going on for Aquarius during the month of November? We've got the card of freedom. Finding your freedom is going to be a key theme. I love that for you. So this says, I possess the power and a free will to create my own happiness. And maybe that's that truth be told. If you have been dwelling, or you have been a bit more, needing that emotional cleanse, because the frog makes a bit of sense with the goddess of the moon, because the moon is all about your feelings and emotions and suppressed feelings and your shadow side, the feelings we don't really like to look at because they're not happiness and rainbows, right? They're healing. There are things you haven't healed from. There are things that you might be doing that are not, you in your highest timeline. So it's just a lot of things that we have to look at that are not beautiful. And they're not typically beautiful things to look at, but they're important for your growth. Okay. And with freedom being here, I wonder if, again, by processing certain feelings and certain things within yourself, you also then become aware that you have the power to change it if you ever want to. Instead of feeling envious of what other people have, you can go, do you know what, actually I'm gonna make it for myself. I'm done with being upset. I'm ready to go and make it for myself. Anyway, let's see what else comes out for you. We'll see in the tarot how this all comes together. But let's see what's going on for my Aquarians, please, in the month of November. Any messages? Oh, well, the star coming through now. Aquarius, you guys are the star card in the tarot deck, and notice how this is the only one showing up. Guaranteed success. If you knew that you were going to be successful regardless of what decision you make, whatever, it's just part of your life path. How would you spend this month, if you knew that you would have guaranteed success? So there we go. We got the star here. Ironically as well, the star is also about healing as well and purpose. So it kind of makes some sense with that frog. You have table, which says there's some hard work ahead during this month. All right. So let's get cracking on that. Crown, honor and respect will come to you. Okay, some of you might get like a promotion of some kind. You've got a misunderstanding coming up during this month, but you also have great good fortune with this 4-leaf clover being about luck. Okay, so ultimately it feels like a good month for you. All right, let's see. What's going on for my Aquarians, please? What are the messages for the month of November? Strength card. This is all about you being courageous and bold. Okay, understanding that strength is not just about the lion, it's also about the maiden too, who's brave enough to go up to the lion to begin with, right? It's this energy that compassion and resilience are strengths. Vulnerability is a strength. Okay, it's not all just about the masculine energy, especially because we're diving into our feelings and emotions. It is strong to be able to face the difficult feelings that we've got within us. So it's one of those kinds of months where you might not feel like you're being strong. What Spirit is saying, yes, you are. And your spirit team's clapping for you during this month. Even if you're crying, they're like, yeah, you let it out. You let that out. All right, what's going on for Aquarius during this month? 7 of Pentacles and the moon. So this might be where you're feeling a bit stuck emotionally, because again, that moon coming through. 7 of Pentacles, you've been doing a lot of hard work. And they're showing me that this might be related to that envy as well, where you're doing a lot, right? It just feels like you're constantly putting effort into something, but you're not seeing as much result as you would like. Maybe you're not reaching your goals in a timing that you want to. You're not growing in a time and space that you want to either. 7 of Pentacles, maybe it's not the right time to harvest just yet. Right? If we think about the seasons, if we're trying to harvest before it's time, then of course we're going to get frustrated because it's not the right time. So I just want you to be aware that maybe this is not the time to harvest. It's a time to grow. It's a time to put action towards things, to nurture something instead of trying to, get something out of it, right? It's very important that we're doing something and nurturing it. Okay, whether that's projects, that's business. I'm going to dive a bit deeper into this. I just want to get one more message for the month of November. Ace of Pentacles. So you are going to have a new beginning, maybe financially, right? This can be an idea that's going to bring you more income. This can be, again, just becoming a leader, a bit more assertive with your actions can really help you to get, maybe you're going to get a promotion with the crown, saying honor and respect will come to you. Maybe you're going to just have a stream of income coming in, or a windfall coming in. We're going to dive deeper into it, but it is about a clean slate. So I like it as well, right? Why is the Strength card here as a message for November for Aquarius? 5 of Swords. So you guys have been through some tough times. Maybe you guys have been rejected or had to reject certain things. The 5 of Swords can sometimes be conflict. So I want to understand why. Why is the Knight of Pentacles here? The 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. And what's the 5 of Swords about? So some of you might have had to let go of someone or disconnect from someone. maybe someone that you worked with, for example, or it's interesting. Strength, being brave, being bold. Two of Cups. So what you've disconnected from is a soulmate. So that could be a past person, you know, and I feel like what Spirit wants you to recognize for a lot of you is that you've been able to rebuild yourself since a situation. Maybe this was a business partner who let you down, or again, it could have been a relationship or a friendship, whatever it is. It almost feels like Five of Swords, this is painful. It's a conflict. It's hurtful. It's, you know, not a very nice conversation to be had. And you took the Three Swords with you, with that Five of Swords, which is about pain and heartache. But with the Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and Strength, it feels a little bit like you've been able to rebuild yourself. So I wonder if Spirit wants you to know that you've done a lot of work already. Okay. Like you've reached maybe a lot of goals already. Maybe some of you do have financial freedom, or you do work for yourself, and that's a blessing. Okay, let's see what else. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? Okay, Six of Cups. The Moon. The Moon with the Ten of Wands does represent that maybe you're overworking yourself or trying to hide in your work. This is coming up again, and so is this. The Ten of Wands can be carrying a very heavy burden. That can be emotional, especially with the Moon. Some of you might be distracting yourself in things because you don't want to process some feelings. The Five of Wands is interesting reverse on top of the Frog, and I wonder if it's like no longer trying to fight your feelings or the fact that you need healing. Six of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. Again, there is something of the past here that might be, you know, nostalgia could be coming up here. What is it that they need to let go of? Worrying about what you don't have anymore, or what spilt in your life, what you don't have, or what went wrong. What you're holding on to is a lot of pessimism, and that's okay. By the way, it happens. What I'm saying is this: it's very common that this happens. So I don't want you to feel alone in what you're doing, or to feel like you're doing anything wrong per se. The Five of Cups is asking you to kind of try to focus a little bit more on what you've been able to build for yourself, because again, this combination is coming up where I feel like a lot of you guys have been moving. You've built yourself up, even if it's just you are your own person, Aquarius, and maybe that was very difficult for you to do. Maybe it means that you were able to become a strong person after going through a lot of challenge in life, or maybe again you were able to build on your own income stream, and maybe you start your own business and people doubted you in the beginning, right? But now you're very stable and you're living a good life. Maybe you want more, of course, but remember how far you've come, right? Don't worry about what you've not got yet or what you don't have anymore. Try to focus on what you do have and what you can build from, because the Five of Cups always speaks about pessimism. And again, crying it out is important. Don't hold on to feelings. Don't fight them when they come up. Just let them come up and let them be processed. Let's see. Why is the Seven of Pentacles here? Ace of Cups. So that is about nurturing something. Yeah, and the Three of Swords coming through as well. I think it's a time to heal. It's a time to nurture. And I feel like for some of you, something that will be healing for you is by putting your love into things that you actually enjoy, right? Doing more things that you love. Maybe giving your heart to others in a way, whether it's just doing some helping people who might be in need of things, or just extending your heart to others is really going to be very healing for you. And in terms of whatever the Seven of Pentacles is, if it's to do with that envy, King of Cups, it's just about gaining more mastery over your feelings and emotions, and it's by processing them, by feeling them. King of Cups, by understanding where they're coming from, right? It's about emotional literacy. That was the word. Emotional intelligence. Six of Cups, and it might be nurturing your past, okay? Understanding your past, understanding some feelings that you might be holding on to, understanding and giving love to situations. So Three of Swords reverse, interesting how it's jumping on top of this. I feel like you'll be able to kind of clear and balance any heartache and any conflict in your life by processing your feelings. Can I just get one more card for the Frog here? For the Frog. The Strength. So yes, it does feel like strength and vulnerability. And the Page of Swords is interesting because that again would be that envy, or again feeling triggered. So maybe it's about feeling your triggers, whatever's triggering you, healing that. Two of Swords, feeling a bit closed off, unable to make a decision, or maybe not seeing things very clearly. And the Five of Pentacles would be, again, that there's an inner wound, a feeling of abandonment, or feeling of not having enough, a feeling of lack in your life. So that's an area for sure to start to process and to heal. Let's see the Ace of Pentacles then. So you do have the Ace of Cups. So remember, a bit of advice for you is about opening your heart up a bit here. Doing more things that you love. Remember that. Feeling, healing, finding peace. Okay, why is the Ace of Pentacles here for November? Page of Pentacles. So again, some of you will be learning something new, maybe doing something more in your career, for example, that you love to do. Judgment and truth be told. Interesting. And Seven of Swords. I'm going to clarify the Seven of Swords again. But judgment is about truth being told, right? It is about, you know, understanding, getting clarity, really fully understanding a chapter of your life so that you can move into a new one. It is exactly what I said about that timeline shift of where you're closing out a cycle, a world, so that you can enter a new world. So why is the Seven of Swords here? So because it could, of course, be that there is this element of inner self-sabotage or not feeling good enough, or again, sitting in blame and envy, because it's easier to do that than it is to heal and to grow. You know, that stuff is tricky, like I've been saying. So it could be an element where you're addressing your feelings and emotions so that you can release them and let them go, so that you can actually invest in yourself moving forward and have that clean slate, to have a very stable new beginning where your finances really will show you that this was the right thing to do during this month. Because remember, this was about water first, then we have stability in earth. And it does feel like that first. You're trying to do it backwards. Have earth before you can have the water. But Spirit's kind of saying you're a frog during this month. Processing your feelings and spending some time here is going to help you get onto land quicker. Anyways, what is the Seven of Swords? Justice. You guys will be finding justice in your life and balance in your life, especially where people have wronged you in the past. Okay, so maybe this is, again, you healing, you addressing those feelings, emotions, maybe you forgiving someone from the past. Of course, there's Mercury retrograde going on here, so maybe there is someone from the past who is apologizing here, with the judgment being that you're letting it go. Maybe they're finally telling you the truth in some way, whereas before they were just rejecting it and not addressing it and didn't want to address it. So there is this harsh truth a little bit here. It is this truth being told that is going to help you enter a new chapter of your life, and one, again, of stability. Maybe that's a misunderstanding. It's not really a misunderstanding. Maybe someone was running away from the truth, but it does feel like that is going to be mentioned during this month, and it's going to make things so much clearer for you. All right, my gorgeous angels, enjoy this month. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comment section below, and also by giving the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you've not already, and aside from all that, I will see you guys in the next one.